Do you strive to make changes in your life or in your career and seem to fall short? Could it be that you need a different way to goal set and plan for those big changes? Today, I'm going to show you how to use neurolinguistic programming to create lasting change in your life, from setting goals to actually making those changes stick. Hello, I hope you're all having a great day so far. Let me know in the chat if you're here and where you're tuning in from. Today, if you have a journal or some paper, it would be handy to have that. Or if you prefer to goal set in your phone or in a notes app on your computer, feel free to do that too. I would also like to say happy birthday to my baby brother, who's not really a baby, Alex, whose birthday it is today. So happy birthday, Alex. I doubt you'll ever see this video, but if you do, I'm thinking of you today. So for our last official Facebook training, next week is going to be our celebratory yay end of the Facebook group, end of September party. We're going to show how powerful NLP can be in helping to set goals and then stick to them so that you can create those changes in your life that might have been hard to stick to up until now. And if you joined me earlier this year, we did a similar exercise in January. So if you even have the goals that you wrote at the beginning of the year, if you happen to come to that training, it would be neat to have them nearby, not necessarily to copy them, but just to see how much progress you've made and whether you want to tweak anything. I actually have an old journal with me because I want to see what I wrote and then see what changes might need to be made based on where I'm at right now. So if you have something to write on and you have some idea of where you want to go with the rest of this year, we still have a few months left to go, so we've got lots of time to still make those changes. But take a moment to write something that you would really like to achieve. And again, it could be drawing on things that you've been moving towards through the whole year, or something totally new that might be coming up as a result of an event that happened recently, or some kind of new shift in your career or in another area of your life, perhaps in your health or relationships or spirituality. I want you to make this a positive statement. So maybe that's, I am going to find a new job, or I am going to sell my apartment and purchase a new house, or I am going to lose or release X number of pounds. I am going to eat this many plant-based meals a week. Whatever it is for you, I want you to be able to make a positive statement about the change or changes you'd like to see happen in your life in the next, let's say, 3 months to a year, depending on what your timeline looks like. All right. I also want to encourage you to make that a SMART goal, and I think most of you know what that means. SMART being specific and simple, M for measurable as well as meaningful to you. A for as if now achievable, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. R for realistic as well as responsible. And then T for timely as well as towards what you want. And then if you can add more details with whom do you want to have this result, when, where, those things are really helpful too. So for example, if you wanted to have a new home, you could say, it is December 31st, 2024, and I am living in my beautiful new apartment. It overlooks the ocean. I live with my family and my 12 cats, and we have 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Whatever the dream looks like to you, write it as if it has already happened, and that's really important. So I'm going to give you some time here to write down your goals. Again, specific, simple, measurable, meaningful to you, as if achievable, or as if you have achieved it now, realistic and responsible, timely, and towards what you want. So take a few minutes. I'm going to do the same here. And if you have any questions or you'd like to share what you're writing, feel free to pop it into the chat. All right, does anyone want to share what they have? I will share my first goal. I am consistent with posting videos on social media at least 3 times a week, and I create content that feels genuine, playful, and educational to me and my audience. So hopefully now you have at least one thing written down. What we're going to do is figure out the last thing that has to happen so that you know you have achieved this goal. Pick something. It doesn't have to be the most important one. It might be one that's really easy to visualize. So for example, if it's a weight loss goal, it could be stepping on the scale and seeing the number go to what it is that you want it to be. If it's a financial goal, maybe it's looking at your bank account and saying, okay, there it is. Those numbers are what I wanted. If it's working at a new job, maybe it's entering the building on your first day of work with all of your stuff, or taking all of your belongings out of your old office. If it's moving house, maybe it's packing up everything in your current home and putting it on a moving truck or something like that. So figure out what the last thing is that has to happen so that you know the goal that you desire has happened. Go ahead and write that down so that you have an idea of what to use for the visualization exercise that we're about to do. All right, so once you have that, now we're going to make what's called an internal representation of that last step. So what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes and start to slow down your breathing. Breathing in through the nose, long, slow breath out through the mouth, in through the nose. Maybe taking another sip of air at the top of that inhalation, sighing it out, breathing in and breathing out. I would like you to create an image in your mind's eye of that last step of your goal. If it's hard for you to create an image, that's okay. It might be that a feeling is stronger and you can tune into what it feels like in your body to have almost achieved that goal because you are so close and the last step has occurred. Again, maybe it's with your eyes closed, stepping onto the scale and seeing the numbers go exactly where you like. Maybe it's opening your bank account app and seeing the numbers where you're hoping they'll be. Maybe it's taking food out of the oven and serving it and seeing how healthy and delicious it looks. Maybe it's sitting and meditating because you really want to introduce some calm and stillness into your daily routine. Whatever that looks like for you, just pull up a picture of it in your mind and notice how the colors are. Are they bright, dim? Is it in color? Is it black and white? Is the image still or moving? Is it blurred or in focus? Are there any sounds associated with that image? It could be voices, maybe you hear birds, maybe it's electronic beeping if you're using a phone or a computer. And then what are the feelings that are associated with this image? Are you experiencing a sensation within your body? Maybe it's something outside of your body. Does it feel like pressure, heaviness, lightness, vibration? What are you noticing as you visualize this very last step? And then start to adjust the aspects of the image so that it feels very real to you. For example, if your image was in black and white, make it color. And ideally, make it a really vivid, bright color. That tends to draw us towards it. If it was a small image at first, imagine expanding it so that it's really big, larger than life, super enticing. And if it was a still, perhaps you'd like to add some movement to it. Make it more like a movie so that it feels very lifelike. If it was silent, perhaps add sounds that make sense. Again, maybe that's voices or nature sounds of your new house or the sounds of the office if you're switching jobs, whatever that might look like to you. And then if you are feeling some positive sensations within your body, imagine allowing those to grow and expand and fill you up with whatever that feeling is. Maybe it's lightness or tingling or warmth. Just experience this so that it feels really real and exciting and enticing to you. And once those feelings have peaked, just go with me here and step out of that image so that you can see yourself within the image, like you're watching yourself in a movie. And imagine locking that image or that movie into your mind, into your unconscious, so that you can remember all of the details, exactly what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it feels like for you to be right there experiencing the goal that you have worked so hard to achieve. This might be like snapping the sides of a plastic container into place, zipping a Ziploc bag, hammering a nail into the wall. Whatever you need to do to lock it in place is perfect. Okay. And if your eyes were closed, you can open your eyes and let me know how you're feeling after doing that. I think this is such a powerful exercise. It really draws you in and makes you believe that this thing that you desire is not only possible, but you've already made it happen. And now we just have to look from where we are in that almost achieved end state back towards now to figure out how to get there. Right now, I would like you to make a few notes on What stops you from having that desired outcome already or right now? Why aren't you there right now? Just take a couple minutes and write that down. So, what's stopping you? And if there are some obstacles, what resources do you need to help you overcome those blocks or those obstacles? Maybe that's support, maybe that's finances, maybe that's a change in your routine, maybe that's some guidance from somebody else. Just write down whatever comes to mind. What's stopping you, and how could you overcome those things that are stopping you? How are you all doing with this? If anyone wants to share, I would love to hear. And then the last thing that I would like you to do is write down the first step that you need to take to begin to achieve this result. For me, it's buckling down and editing the videos that I've already filmed, but I haven't yet posted. There's some kind of block there for me. I'm going to talk to my coach about it, but it's going to happen. I just think I need some guidance on how the flow should be. So that's my first step for the goal that I mentioned, is to talk to my coach and go for it. Do the edits. Do the edits. Post the videos. Ah. I know it can feel a little bit scary. I'm right there with you, but you can do this. You've got it. You already know what it's like to get to the end of where you want to go. So now it's just filling in the gaps with the steps that allow you to gradually get there. It's not going to be an overnight process. So hopefully that's a little bit reassuring. It's okay if it takes some time. And if you do need any support, you're also always welcome to reach out. I will have ideas for you on what you might do. And really, the smallest step can be the most helpful because it's much less daunting and you can start collecting those little wins towards the bigger goal. What I would like to encourage you to do is take one tiny, tiny action every day that moves the needle towards your goal. Maybe that's spending 5 minutes looking up a recipe that you print out or you save, and you don't actually need to do anything about it. Maybe it's even walking through a different part of the grocery store if changing your diet is a plan for you and just scoping it out. You don't actually have to buy anything the first time. Maybe if it has to do with fitness, it's setting your clothes out the night before and putting your shoes by the door. Maybe you don't actually do anything, but you know it's ready for you when you decide to put on the clothes and the shoes. What is it for you? What is that little first step that you can do And perhaps it's even telling someone that you plan to do this, creating a little bit of accountability and garnering support towards this goal, because it's nice to be able to have somebody to check in with, or multiple people if you like, particularly if you know that some gentle nudging can be helpful for you. If you would like to share what your first little step is, feel free to type it in the chat. Otherwise, let's wrap it up for today with something that you took away from this goal setting session. And I also would love to hear if your goals had changed at all from earlier this year to now. Because I know 8 months is a long time, 8, 9 months, a lot can change in that span. If you did find this exercise to be useful and are ready to get more support towards your goal setting and your accomplishments, then I would love to support you. Definitely let me know if you have any questions at all, and I'm happy to DM you or we can set up a time to chat. I'm here to support you. And I also wanted to let you know that if you hadn't already heard, the group is closing next week. And if you missed my announcement from last week about the mind body reset, Julie Chapman and I set up this 4-part video series. They're pretty short segments, about 20 minutes or less. And if you would like to sign up for free, you can go to the link below. I'll post it in the comments, and it'll just send you one video a week that helps you with some really practical exercises and tools to start strengthening your mind-body connection so that you are both able to experience and process emotions as well as stay in your physical body while you are having potentially stressful situations occur in your life. I know that that has been a journey for myself, and both of us had a lot of fun putting it together. She's a certified yoga therapist and has a lot of cool ideas on how to integrate that mind-body connection. So again, if you're interested, I'll pop the link in the chat. It's totally free and it will be available whenever you have time to do it. If you are a busy person, take your time. And otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and I will see you next week. Bye.